Welcome to the Echo Ratings Eventing Podcast. Hello and welcome to the Echo Ratings Eventing Podcast. And it is a new week, a new episode, and the whole team is back together. And I'm going to start with a lady who's been through the wars a little bit, because Jenny Autry, you are on the sick list.
Yep, I'm on the sidelines for a little while. Had a bit of a tip-up cross-country schooling and cracked my arm in half. I mean, it is properly broken. Yeah, happens. Price of admittance in the sport.
And you've got some pretty impressive bruising, to be fair.
Oh, it's every day it gets more and more colorful. So yeah, no surgery, which is great. So we're letting it heal the old-fashioned way. I have a sling, which is actually great. It's like a purse on my arm permanently. So I just carry around everything I need in there. It's been fantastic.
Can I just say I didn't think you were as tough as you are. I mean, I don't mean that as an insult. I had no way of knowing how tough you were before, but I presumed, just kind of from your general high maintenance, that you wouldn't be quite as tough as you turned out to be. I think, guys, we should tell the listeners the story about what can only be described as a weird WhatsApp, if anything. I mean,
I wonder if I can find it. Bear with me. Let me just scroll back through it. We send each other a lot of WhatsApps, listeners, so I just have to scroll back.
So to set the scene, I have it here. Do you want it?
I've got it. Ready to go.
All right, go.
Okay. Right. This is the WhatsApp that Jenny sent to our group on her way to hospital. Ready?
Hey guys, I fell off cross-country schooling and I might have dislocated my shoulder or broken something. But while I'm at the hospital waiting, I checked my email and the podcast won that award again for the second year in a row for Best Broadcast. So good job, team. I'll let you know what's going on once I know.
I mean, firstly, we won an award again. Congratulations, guys. Woohoo. But secondly, Jenny, you just sound like, I've kind of hurt my arm. Like, when you say you snapped your arm in two, that's no exaggeration.
I wrote back saying, poor Jenny, or something. Actually, no, it turns out I didn't write back at all.
You didn't write back at all.
Yeah.
Sam sent a message about being like broken shoulder buddies. Sparkle sent a really caring message, as did I.
Well, D rang me. No, that's because D rang me, D. That's why.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I rang you, yeah. But anyway, long story short, the next picture that comes into the WhatsApp about 5 hours later is literally of the worst, most horrible looking break of an arm that I've ever seen. It was so bad I went around showing people that I don't know that well the picture and playing them, being like, listen to this girl and now look at her arm. Like, I showed the security man in work and stuff, like people that don't need to see it. Because it's horrific. And now Jenny's
now
still
he goes around showing people the bruising pictures, Jenny.
No, I haven't. I don't even open them. They're disgusting. They're the ones that sit in my WhatsApp and they don't download. They just have the little arrow on them. I'm like, she's like, look at this, isn't it disgusting? I'm like, I know what it is already. I'm not opening it. Your bruised arm.
6 weeks. It's just a scratch, guys. I'll be fine. We'll be back in no time.
Is that what they say? 6 weeks?
Yeah. Touch wood. Should be 6 weeks. And it's one of those things where only event riders would say that broken bones heal stronger. But at the Fork this weekend, I had a lot of people who've had bad breaks giving me, a little pep talk, advice, and telling me that broken bones heal stronger. So it's going to be fine.
In what can only be the most perfect segue ever, were you ever at a competition, pal, before which you had any kind of shoulder issues?
Thanks, C. Thank you. Well, I'm not even going to answer it, but I did. I broke my collarbone last year.
Was that before the World Games?
That it was before Mill Street. I went to Mill Street after that.
Okay, and then on to the World Games where you won a silver medal.
I'm pretty sure I was about 43rd in the old CIC 2-star, so the 3-star short at Mill Street after breaking my collarbone. But if you want to go further
history would prove that was just an anomaly. Things got better soon after, I think, didn't they?
Yeah. Went to WEG after that, where things went well. So there we go. Onwards, as they say.
Onwards and upwards. And you had a pretty good weekend this weekend as well, didn't you? I mean, not WEG-worthy, but you had a good weekend.
Yeah, I had a good weekend. Thanks, Nicole. Imperial Sky's chance to shine. He won, what do you call it these days? And what most people call an advanced, but a national level 4-star, I suppose it is now. He won that. But actually, I have to say, well, of course, there's been a lot bigger results. It's only a national event, but I don't think any horse I've ridden or any performance I've done would have caught him that day. He was absolutely mega in all 3 phases. So it'll be interesting to see if he can keep that up and bring it to the international stage. But at the ripe old age of 13, he's found another gear.
Lamulum?
That's his goal, yeah, Nicole. He's going to go there. He's got Ballindennis next week, and I'm going to do the long 4-star there because he could do with a bit of a test of stamina. Suits him. Good for his fitness.
We'll watch this space. Okay, well, let's talk about Burnham Market. And by talking about Burnham Market, we're also going to talk a little bit about anything else that went on this weekend, because I was at Weston and quite a few horses that were at Weston also have an entry into Burnham Market. So the two will cross over quite nicely. But first of all, Sam, what do you need to do to win the 4-star short format at Burnham Market?
Go to your local... would it be a registry? Where would you change your name? You need to change your name for it to become
Registry
Oliver Townend.
office? Okay.
That's what you need to do if you want to win Burnham Market. Pretty simple. The man is unstoppable when it comes to Burnham Market. Interesting to see whether he does it this year. We could play a game and go through his winners, but he's won it 10 times from 2007 to 2017. It is really quite phenomenal. But actually, it would take us quite a long time to go through all 10 winners. But I suppose if you're driving in your car and you want to pause and see how many of the horses you can name.
In fact, listeners, here you go. Pop quiz for you on social media. We want you to name as many Oliver Townend Burnham Market winners as you can.
Yeah, horse and year.
Horse and year. Yeah. And if you can get all 10 in one post, hats off to you.
And then we will post the full list at some point.
Nobody is going to do that, lads.
One horse is...
will.
Which of his horses have won it twice? Which of his horses have won it twice?
Gallimore class.
No.
Incorrect.
Yeah. Correct.
Well, I mean I'm talking only 4-star shorts, which were CIC 3-stars.
Cooley Master class.
Correct. I mean, when you throw in what were CIC 2-stars, what are now 3-star shorts, I mean, he's probably nearly won double that. I don't have it to hand, but he loves the place. And as we crack on to this year's field, he does hold quite a lot of the key as to whether he's going to sustain that or whether he's going to do what he's done at Belton for the last couple of years and keep the powder dry for the imminent 5-stars.
Well, shall we start with Oliver's entries this weekend? Tregilder, who won Blair short format 4-star last year. Kilner Brad Nevo, the legendary ERM event master who is just a 4-star specialist, and the Burley Victor Ballamore class. Out of those 3, who would you say has the best chance of taking the title this weekend? Bearing in mind that there are 2 sections, which we'll come on to a little bit later. But who's his best chance to make it 11 wins?
Well, he'd have to improve Tregilder a good bit, wouldn't he? In my mind, but he could
in the dressage.
Yeah, he could have a rail as well, but actually, I think he's potentially the most likely because he can go fast on this horse, and that's what it's going to come down to at Burnham Market. It will come down to speed. The forecast is perfect. There's no rain in the forecast. We haven't had that much rain. It's going to be good, quick ground, so it's not going to be one of those Chatsworth-esque Burnham Markets, which we have had in the past. We have had Burnham Markets where double figure time penalties are the quick times, but I think people could make the time on this occasion. But Tregilder's he is not going to start or finish on a 20s score. 35-ish is where he's going to be ending up.
I've got an echo-rating snippet for you. To win the 4-star at Burnham Market since 2008, you have to be inside the top 8. 8th was the lowest position after dressage that any winner came from. And that was back in 2008, Francis Whittington and Sir Percival. So they've got to be off to a good start. Which,
So,
to be honest, makes me think Kilnabrad and Evo, if he is going to go for the time on Kilnabrad and Evo, this is the horse that is just so experienced at this level. He's won Event Rider Masters legs. He's won Barbaroko last year. He's just been so consistent.
You got to wait and see where his show jumping Donegal.
Yeah, he had a sub 20 dressage at Weston Park in the Advanced at the weekend.
How did he show jump?
He didn't. He withdrew. Which I think was always the plan. But yeah, sub 20, 18.9 or something.
He's the best of the three in the first phase. I mean, Kilnabrad and Evo is.
Yeah.
But I would be probably tempted to agree with Sam, even though I believe Kilnabrad and Evo is the one that's not going to go to Badminton. I think it'll be the other two that go to Badminton.
I think Kilnabrad and Evo will go to Badminton alongside Ballamore Class. You definitely can't. You can't run through at Badminton, can you?
You read my mind, Nicole. I was about to ask that question. Badminton for the last 2 years has had less than 80 starters. Now, Badminton
they have got a wait list though.
They've had a wait list the last couple
of years.
Pretty
sure you can only run two, can't you?
In the past, because they've always been full. So it's only been two, but the last 2 years, the badminton field is getting smaller. They will all be. I'm pretty sure the wait list is only about 20 or 25 or something, which is very small. Usually, it's a wait list of over 40. So they'll all get in. They'll all get a run. And
the wait list is 24, and currently 6 have been accepted off it.
Yeah, that's going to be on the wire.
I don't think you'll be able to take 3.
No.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm going to go Kilnabrad and Evo then of Townends to win Burnham Market, because he'll do a really good dressage. Oh God, I just said that he was going to win it, but who knows what could happen in the show jumping. This horse used to show jump clear everywhere he went.
And the curse of Durmstrong.
No such thing as that. But he did end last season badly from a show jumping point of view, and I would wait and see there as to what comes out.
This would be the event for me to get the clear round early in the season. He's going to be fresh.
Yeah.
I think you're right, Dee. I think you're on the right horse.
All right, Jenny, who do you pick?
Between Olivers, or are we talking about ones who can challenge him?
Just between Olivers for now. Bearing in mind, he's
ridiculous. Someone 10. Challenging Oliver Townend at Burnham Market.
All right, fine.
Ludicrous.
I feel good about our old friend Kilnabrad and Evo this weekend, to be honest. I think he could do it. He's definitely going to need to keep those poles in the cups, because that's going to be the biggest challenge. Show jumping clear rate of 34.7% at Burnham Market. So it's going to be tough.
I would say as well that we're going back to presuming that Oliver Townend is going to chase the clock.
Yes.
Which, let's be honest, this last year in particular, I seem to remember his spring internationals were very much geared towards the 5 stars, which obviously paid off for him with 4 top 10 placings from 4 rides at Kentucky and Badminton. So it'll be interesting to see. But outside of Oliver Townend, let's go to the lady on fire this year so far. We've spoken about her.
Someone put her out. Oh, girl.
Sorry, Piggy. Must be a bit hot. Piggy French. Because she's got a few rides in the 4-star sections. She's got Cooley Monsoon making his 4-star debut. And she's also got Castletown Clover as well. Start with Cooley Monsoon. Jenny, you're a big fan. I'm a big fan too.
Yeah, definitely. I think we've all had our eye on this horse for a while now, and really exciting to have him stepping up to 4-star. I think if we're looking at horses who can really set the right tone in the first phase, this is definitely one we can look to, looking at 26.2 expected dressage. Of course, it is his first test at the level, but it's definitely going to be exciting to see how he steps up and handles it. Don't think it's necessarily going to be one to challenge for a real top result, because I imagine she's going to want to take him around with a nice educational, confidence-building cross-country trip in his first run at the level. But what do we think about this one?
No, I think he's got a right chance, Jenny. I think spot on with a strong chance in the first phase. I think he could be in the top 3 potentially. I haven't looked at the draw, but I would say he's definitely on for potential top 3. We haven't seen this horse do flying changes and the grown-up movements yet, but no doubt with someone like Piggy French in the saddle, they shouldn't be a problem, and we should see the standard continue, if not improve even further.
Definitely. And just looking at both his national and international records, since he stepped up to novice level, he's never had more than 1 rail down in any of his runs. So definitely a 1 or none rail horse, very capable of delivering a clear show jumping as well. So one we have to keep our eye on. Definitely not one to rule out.
I don't think with someone like Piggy that going slowly around a cross-country course, are they really learning anything?
Right.
That's what cross-country schooling is for. I think she won't go for one of those event rider master, maybe, perhaps like Chatsworth, but I mean, she showed us around Chatsworth. It's about being smooth and efficient. It's she's never throwing her reins at the horse or, giving big kicks in the belly or anything like that. It's just about being professional and keeping the horse on about her business. And I think this could be a big debut at the level for this horse.
And he also had a great run in the intermediate at Belton where he won and did finish on his dressage score of 22.5 there. So definitely she did not waste any time there at Belton. Yep. I'm excited. I'm really excited about this one.
So the only thing really with Coolie Monsoon, I guess, is stepping up to the level. Would that be fair?
Yep.
But everything.
And tactics.
Well, yeah, no, I kind of agree with Sam on tactics. I think I think the one thing maybe on tactics is if she decides, not necessarily because it's early in the season, but just because it's first time at the level. But everything that Coolie Monsoon has done on his way to this point has always been to go for it. I mean, their string of wins is ridiculous. Their average dressage, so strong. Their show jumping clears, Jenny, you mentioned, they can do it. They're not slow. Piggy arriving in serious form. So, yeah, I think if there's any gaps going to be presented by Oliver, I would say this is probably one of Piggy's that's going to be right in there.
I've got 2 interesting points, actually, that benefit both Piggy and Oliver. So in terms of key stats of Burnham Market history, only 4 riders have ever finished sub 30 in the 4-star there. Oliver's done it 5 times. Piggy French has done it once, Frances Whittington has done it once, and Stefano Brecciaroli has done it once. But then there's also only ever been 5 combinations that have finished on their dressage score in the entire history of the 4-star in the last 10 years. So guess the 2 names that also feature in the 5 FODs.
Piggy and Oliver.
And I'm just going to say Frances Whittington features in both of those as well. And I'm just going to take a sneaky look as to
Grades
who
are personal,
he has.
I'm sure. As in who that result would have come on, I would say. By Puissance. Good horse, that one. He's got 2. Not too familiar with him. Excellent R and Evento for Francis this weekend. I mean, he's a good bit to find in the dressage. I've got the 2 of them. If I was doing over or unders, I put them both around 35. Excellent R looks like he'll probably just go below 35. Evento maybe he's still going to be above that. And then neither of them would, you wouldn't want to be putting your house on a clear show jumping around yet either. So I'd say this is Francis in kind of production mode with these horses. I know we've just talked about Coolie Monsoon being ready to step up to the level. Coolie Monsoon has just got such a CV already that, and actually quite a lot of mileage as well, that I think he's ready. And it's when you're in that position as well, and Piggy in the form she's in, I think there's going to be a difference between the 2 of them there. I'd definitely be siding with Piggy's horse on this occasion.
I've got one that I think. I've gone through some of the names here, and there's an awful lot of big names here, and I still think we mentioned it a little bit at Belton. You're still playing a little bit with tactics in terms of who you want to support, but I am actually quite interested in Jodie Amos and Wisecrack.
Okay.
Yeah, you didn't see that one coming, did you?
No, go for it. Why are you interested in Jodie Amos and Wisecrack?
And Wisecrack. Well, firstly, the horse is very experienced. and is a very good cross-country horse and is reasonably fast. And we alluded to it a little bit earlier, Sam. I actually think the time at Burnham Market is going to be kind of harder than you're letting on. I know we didn't have last.
Yeah, it is. It is. What I'm saying is it can be notoriously impossible, and also as I say, in Chatsworth territory, big double figure scores. I just think that given the weather, given that remember that Burnham Market and Belton alternate every year. So this year, Burnham is the later of the two. So getting into the mid-April, much better ground anyway. When Burnham runs at the end of March, you're talking about much softer ground conditions, and so I think that could just play a part as well.
Or like last year when it just was like a
deluge
everywhere
wasn't it?
Oh God, it was horrific last year.
Yeah.
I've got another one to watch. Interesting combination. I don't actually think they'll push for the time cross country, which will take them out of contention, unfortunately. But it is one that should be up there after dressage, and good show jumpers and very solid cross country horse, but is with a new jockey. So it is Ros Cantor's No Excuse, being piloted by Tom McEwen. Now, with Ros, this is the horse's first international with Tom, but with Ros last year, stepped up to 4-star level. Was 9th at Chatsworth, 9th at Bramham, but had a 24.4 dressage. Then was 8th at Burnham and went to Mill Street for the long format 4-star and finished 2nd. So 3 of their 4 dressage tests at 4-star have all been in the 20s and have been under 27. They're going to be up there after the first phase. Tom had an intermediate win at Belton with the horse. Don't think he's going to push for the time, but just keep an eye on them, because if the time is tough and he's up there after dressage and show jumping, I wouldn't put it past them to sneak in a podium finish.
You can't. I disagree with this. You can't be putting up dressage horses here, because there should be loads better than them. If we're going to pick horses that are not going for the time, well, then we definitely should be talking about London 52, Ballymore Class, like Zagreb, Pomero. I think.
I think Pomero could go for it, guys. I mean, when's badminton? It's in May. We're recording this on the 8th of April.
Don't forget, Gemma's just coming back, having had a pretty rubbish injury.
Well
done. When she had a fall.
She's fine. She wouldn't be going if she couldn't.
She's just a bit banged up and bruised, no actual injury.
No,
really.
Jenny.
No, she's absolutely fine.
No,
but she
didn't crack a bone in half.
Oh, sorry, and it is this horse that she fell off. So I take that back. Actually, this could be.
Get the wheels back on the bus.
Gemma is grand to go. Like, she's got Chilly Night in this as well. So, like, again, if you want to put her up. But like, Pomero is probably going for badminton. So the only thing I would say to Nicole is I think we've got to pick ones that have who are going to go for it. I cannot see. All
right, then.
I can't see. Come on, so.
I'm going to give you one that's going to go for it.
Right.
You're going to think I've literally lost my marbles. This is one of my totally off the wall ones. But if it's coming down to speed cross country, watch out for a horse called Scoop de Furbe and Philippa Cross, who were very quick in the intermediate Burnham Market last year. Took a win there. They've stepped up to 4-star level. They've got a few runs under their belt now. And I think if she puts her foot down cross country, she's not going to be far off the pace after the first 2 phases.
That is a massive
ludicrous.
Yeah. No, I didn't say ludicrous at all. No. I actually love that. I love when you find those horses. They're the interesting ones.
They finished on their dressage score at Belton in the 3-star.
Give me that name again.
Scoop de Furbe, Philippa Cross.
Scoop de Furbe. Okay, well, I'm delighted with that pick. That's a sensible, good pick. Well done.
All right, I've got a sensible good pick.
Right, go on. Sensible good pick. Sensible good pick. What we're all about.
He was way too nice to me about
that. All right. Nicola Wilson and Bulana coming back out at 4-star level for the first time since Barbary when they won last year. Mare had a bit of time off for injury, has come out this season looking pretty spectacular from what Nicole Brown has told me. Winning at Weston Park, adding just a few seconds over the time on cross country to her dressage score of 24.3. So This is definitely one that we can't ignore. She's gearing up for her first 4-star appearance since Lou Moulin in 2017. So obviously Nicola will be wanting to give her that good prep run. But what do we think? Is she going to go out and cruise around, or is she going to go for it?
My only reservation is that she looked like such a beast at Weston Park. She was insane going cross country in a good way. Like, she looked brilliant.
It's what everyone wants to hear. That you're looking like a beast.
But no, she looked absolutely brilliant cross country at Weston Park. That if Nicola's happy with her, she might not run her fast again. I don't know, because it is only a week later. But she was in top form over all 3 phases. Just one point to point out. So she scored a 24 in the dressage. She was in the same section as Oliver Townend, Kilnabrad and Evo. And she was second after dressage to Kilnabrad and Evo, but he scored 18.9. That just as an example as to how good Kilnabrad and Evo's dressage was at the weekend. That is what we're talking about. But don't take anything away from Bolana, because she absolutely deserved to win. And while we're just talking about Nicola Wilson, Jacobo BK won the other advanced section at Western, and again looked really impressive.
Was that Jacobo one of your early season picks?
No, Jacobo was the horse that was produced by Andrew Nicholson. Nicola took on last season, went to Buccalo with the horse.
Yeah, I thought one of you put it up in the pod at the start of the year. Was it you, Sam, as one to watch this year?
Well, I've got to watch it at Ballindennis next week in the long format. I got to take it on. I think that's a huge horse for Nicola.
Yeah,
and
I would say
you
who mentioned it then.
Yeah, big.
I actually
a big
think
weapon.
We were tagged on Twitter by Laura Butcher, who put the horse up as well. So give Laura a bit of credit too.
The Butcher.
Okay, who else have we got? You mentioned Zagreb, actually. Now, on all the Echo Ratings expected, Zagreb is coming up as one to keep an eye on inside the top 10.
No, because he won't go for the time.
Do you not
really?
think? I think he might. We're a few weeks away from Badminton. Yeah. I think Alex could well think, right, I'm going to get a good fitness run in here.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Okay.
State your
I
case.
don't think Alex Bragg is going to want to. I don't think any rider wants to just stay under the radar all the way. And I think you have to be on a real genuine favorite for a 5-star to be not pressing any buttons going in, like, or having a run like Laura did with her too at Belton. Like, I think you need to make sure that the machine is oiled, as it were. Like, everything's working.
If she did that at Belton, then London 52 is hardly going to go for it today.
Exactly. That's what. So I think Laura's ticked that box at Belton. I think she's run well enough, and now she can start to go right. Now it's about polishing from here on in. But like, I've had a good enough run. You know, I know she says like second gear or something. I would be saying more, fourth gear rather than fifth gear. But she's had that run, and I think Alex will want to do that as well. Just like thinking of the psychology of the rider as well. He's not one to just sit back. I think he'll want to give it a go.
I'm with Sam on this one, actually, because he didn't go to Belton, so that horse has only had one open intermediate run since the start of the season.
Exactly.
And,
you need to run.
You can't be picking a winner who's only had one open intermediate then.
We didn't put him up as a winner.
We're talking about an Event Rider Masters leg winner, though, Dan. We're not just talking about a random horse. This is a really, really class combination.
I'm not doubting that for a second. I'm just not putting them up against. If we're saying all these horses are going to go for it, which they're not, then I'm not going to put them ahead of Ballamore Class or London 52. I mean, there's a few more in there as well.
Yeah, you see, I'm with Sam again. I think Laura has got her good fast run under her belt with London 52. Otherwise, I think
He didn't even do a good fast run. He just did a
he had a
job
reasonably
you lot
good
are telling me
fast
it doesn't happen, but it is.
He was in the top 10 fastest times.
And he was second.
Yeah, I've got an angle here, folks. A little interesting one. I think a Swedish person is going to walk away with some prize money out of
Ludwig Sennestall?
Ludwig
Norfolk.
Norfolk. Sorry,
Norfolk, definitely not.
I think everywhere kind of north of Birmingham is just Yorkshire. That would do me. And before you get to Scotland, So just that
It's just
whole
all
big
Yorkshire.
middle bit, the whole Pennines area. Stinger, oh, so quick, so brilliant around Wiesbaden last year. Show jumping before cross country has got to be an advantage, and looking forward to see still a young enough horse and a good enough rider to have potentially taken 3 or 4 marks off over in the dressage. Like, you obviously do not bank on that. It doesn't happen all the time, but it can happen. You know, we saw Mr. Bass improve a lot last season. I still think there's potential for Stinger to improve. Looking forward to seeing him. But Malin Josefsson, I'm looking forward to seeing her. And
what are you looking forward to seeing her on?
Well, Golden Midnight will be very quick, but Alan is a horse that I love. He's quirky as anything. I mean,
he was very quirky at Western at the weekend.
Was he?
Oh, yes. He said, no, thank you very much. I'm going back to the lorry park.
Damn, I can't believe he's still at that. He did that in He's done that a few. He is so quirky, but he is so talented. That's a shame. I was hoping he might grow out of that.
I mean, he could well put it behind them. He only had half a cross-country run, so he's fairly fresh. If I put it like that.
Talk about running. Yeah, she ain't going to be trying to go slow on that fella. She'd just be wanting him to go from A to B.
Go at all. I'm going to say one of Ludwig's horses. If you're at Burnham Market this weekend, go and watch Salunette, who is quite possibly one of the most beautiful mares I've ever seen. She's gorgeous.
Interesting.
Pro tip.
Produced by up to 4-star by Jamie Atkinson. Ludwig, a new ride for him this year, and he really likes this horse, and she is very, very beautiful.
I then am now going to finish. This is the last of my lot. And again, I think this is someone who could win. I would be backing them each way if it was possible. It is Mr. Chalky Put himself. He was a little bit rusty with this horse at the World Games. I'm talking about Bill Levitt, exactly. I think his over or under in the dressage is bang on 30 for me. So I think it's 50-50 as to whether he can go into the 20s. He was way off that in Belton. He wouldn't have been happy with that, and he withdrew. I don't know whether that was in disgust or
with Laspen Diamond Lift.
Exactly. Sorry, Nicole. I'm being very unprofessional here, not even naming the rider or the horse. But yeah, Bill Levitt's Weg horse, Laspen Diamond Lift, still fits that mold of being an improver because he's still young enough, and Bill is competitive too. You know, he'll be annoyed with his 15 penalties from Belton that cost him a nice finish with Shannondale Titan, and I think he'll be hungry.
I'm going to say, Sam, I agree with Bill, but I'm going to say if he's close after show jumping, Shannondale Titan will go for it cross country if the ground's okay, because this horse, you know, he's a bit older now, and he's not. You know, he's probably got a limited amount of runs left. When they run him cross country, they're going to run him to be competitive. And I think if he's up there after dressage and show jumping, Bill Levitt will be wanting to earn himself some more chocolate pudding from wife Jenny. Still doesn't sound
Nicole,
any better
Jenny,
than I'll give you say it.
Jenny, I'll give you one horse left if you have one, and Nicole, one for you as well.
Go on then.
And then we'll have you have to finish up, and then we'll do the podiums.
Are you going to give us any more?
You can come back to me at the end. I don't know. I'll come back to me at the end.
Okay, Jenny, you go for it.
The only other one I'd say we should keep an eye on is Xavier Fair running his final prep for Kentucky with Tim Price. Obviously, this is going to be a critical horse to watch this month because Tim is now hunting for that Rolex Grand Slam. So very capable of putting in a top result. Wouldn't be the fastest horse in this type of a short format necessarily, but I'm definitely thinking that we need to keep an eye on this one with Kentucky in mind.
Yeah, agreed.
Heads up.
Good heads up.
Right,
and
Nicole.
He's got Bango as well.
Yes.
I am going to say that I feel like Izzy Taylor, Busy Izzy, has had a pretty slow start to 2019 in terms of prolific
Lazy Taylor, I'm going to call her,
victories.
will we?
No. She's certainly been riding plenty of horses. But I feel like she's got a couple of entries that could really put her on the map. So she's got Spring Power, who I actually put up as my young gun horse for the 2018 season, and still really, really like the horse. Has been well placed at Blenheim in the 8 and 9-year-olds a couple of years ago. is on the edge of a really good victory, I think. Monkeying Around, who led the dressage at Belton, then withdrew after show jumping. That's entered as well. She's got Direct Casino, who, damn, can you remember Direct Casino from Blair Castle Event Rider Masters last year? The lovely grey horse. Finished just off the podium. I think she was 4th and was super quick cross country.
Yeah, I do remember them. Yeah, they did. Did a good dressage as well, and the show jump clear.
Yeah. And now that horse does need to show jump clear. It had a couple of poles at Tattersalls, I think, last May. So keep an eye on Izzy, because she also has Call Me Maggie May, who is the Tattersalls winner and who was on the podium for Chats with Event Rider Masters. So I think Izzy's got 4 really good chances.
I must say that was very clever what you did there.
Just go for all of Izzy's?
Yeah, I asked you for one horse, but there's only one way in which you were going to be able to manage to name 5 and get another 5 in. So I think that's very good.
No. I think Izzy Taylor this weekend, keep an eye on her. I think she's in with a very, very good shout. Okay, so the question, I think, is, because we've got 2 different sections. So to do a podium for each section might be a bit confusing, but can Oliver Townend make it 11 wins at Burnham Market since 2007 this weekend? I want a 1-word answer. Well, no, I want a 1 horse. If he can do it, if you say he can do it, I want what horse he's going to do it on. And from each of you. And I'm going to start the ball rolling and say I think he's going to win 1 section with not with Ballamore class, with Kilnabrad and Evo. Jenny?
Yep, agree. His old mate, Kilnabrad and Evo.
Mingari.
Old Gary.
Dem?
Nah, I'm going to go for Tregilda. I just can't back Ballamore class. Or God almighty, I can't back them all. I can't back Kilnabrad and Evo yet until I see him show jump this year. And he's going to do a brilliant dressage. But I'll go for Tregilda just to be contrary.
Okay, so you think he'll win with Tregilda?
Yeah.
Okay, Sam?
I'm going to keep this simple. There are 2 sections. I have a dodgy double. My dodgy double are Kilnabrad and Evo and Dargon. Kilnabrad and Evo ridden by Townend, obviously, and Dargon, Emily King. These 2 horses on their day are hugely competitive. They're my dodgy double, the 2 horses that could win this. And my other 2 to watch that I look forward to seeing, and I think could put in big performances, will be Stinger and Ludwig's Pheasantstall, and Laspen Diamond Lift with Bill Levitt.
Fair enough. Good shout. It's going to be a good weekend at Burnham Market. I'm a bit sad I'm not going. I'm not there this year. But I will be following all of the action. And I think it's going to build us up very nicely, because we are heading towards Kentucky very swiftly. Listeners, you will all be delighted to know that next week's episode is an alphabeti spaghetti. Let us see. You beat us down. It is ready to go for you, and it will be out next week. And then it will be the Kentucky build-up. And a big couple of weeks, because it then turns our attention to badminton.
I was just wondering if I might be able to mention something if you're fully finished. Are you fully finished?
Yeah, you go for it.
Oh, brilliant. I just wanted to check, because I know the way sometimes you say, I didn't forget it all. But actually, I had to wait till the very end of the podcast just because I wasn't sure.
I know where he's going.
I just waited for that long. I even let you do podiums. I gave you so many chances. And I think, listeners
he's going to say Ivor Gooden
have been through it will say, well, he did give her lots of chances. And her last chance, she picked 5 horses and she still didn't name him. But I'm going to stick with Ivor Gooden actually as the one to watch this weekend.
And you're not going to forget about him on the Instagram stories like you did last time. You sacked him off straight away.
Nicole, I gave you every opportunity. You've literally picked about 15 horses this weekend and you haven't mentioned Ivor Gooden. What I would say is I pointed out to the listeners recently of how low their dressage has been. They didn't do it at Belton. But I say Belton was an off day. This is a horse that wouldn't be able to go slow even if he wanted. Very good jumper both phases. Maybe that dressage was a bit of a blip. If they could get anywhere near the 30s, low 30s in the first phase, Ivor Gooden, Derm is going to stick with you.
Great shout.
Thanks, Sam.
Great shout. Guys, by the time this podcast is out, speaking of Nicole, you were talking about the 5 stars coming up. I'll have walked the badminton course.
No way.
Yeah.
How come you get to walk the badminton course?
Because he won a silver medal at Wake. But how come you are walking the badminton course?
Well, you cannot.
That medal has really raised your profile. They didn't ask you last year.
You're going to a media preview day. Is that what it is?
No, they'll put the course walk out. The video.
So we can have all walked the badminton course walk, but
at some point
remotely.
Yeah.
And you're going to do it?
Yeah. Myself and Eric. And
cool.
Hugh, no doubt Hugh. I'll get to talk to him about my what did he call my scoring system?
He described it in Horse and Hound in bold, although I presume he didn't put it in bold. I guess that was Pippa, but I think it was described as barking mad.
It's absolutely barking mad. He doesn't know why change your working formula? Bonkers. Child, mad Irishman.
Right.
Drunk.
On that note,
what would Mark
team,
Phillips think of it all?
Well, did that's the problem, was I was just doing Mark Phillips, really, wasn't I? I don't think I was quite Hugh Thomas enough. Mark Phillips designed Tryon. Tryon happened this weekend. Why haven't we reviewed Tryon? What happened there, Jenny?
Oh, the fork, Jenny.
So we had a story of redemption at the fork. I'm sure everyone who watched WEG will remember Boyd Martin coming to grief at that influential boat in the water with Sesterleg, and he returned to the scene of the crime, same exact combination, and he got it done and won. So it was great.
What happened to Liz Halliday-Sharp?
She finished 3rd and 4th. So
right, okay.
Yeah, led after the first 2 phases with Fernhill by Night. Time was very, very tough to make. Nobody got even close. So wouldn't be quite the turn and burn type of track for Fernhill by Night, but still a very strong 3rd place finish for him as he continues on his very strong short format season. And then De Niro Z finishing 4th in his prep run, strategically planned to go a bit slower. He's just went around like a freight train at Carolina, so she wanted to get some of that rideability back. And now she goes on to Kentucky with, I think, what we all think is a very strong shout for maybe to challenge for top US result.
I'd say top. I'd say De Niro Z has a great shout at becoming the first American winner in whatever it is, 10 years.
We've got to get those flying changes. That's
I was going to
make the difference. Yeah.
For me, if he had his flying changes, if you said he will get all of his flying changes in the 5-star test, I'll say he will be your dressage leader.
Agree.
But I don't think he'll get them all, and that will be costly for them. So she'll be a little bit on the back foot. But make no mistake, the horse looked incredible in Carolina. But he would have led the dressage there if his changes had been right. He had 2 really expensive mistakes, and that put him behind Fernhill by Night, who was flawless. So it's a tough one, isn't it? But I think there's so much to like, but I don't think he'll be quite leading the dressage.
If she gets them, he will lead the dressage.
Yeah. Yes,
if she gets
absolutely.
them.
Yeah.
This is the few weeks. So Nicole and Jenny are normally little besties on the pod, but as we move into Kentucky, we start to draw some battle lines, and you can hear them psyching each other out. They do it smiling at each other, but actually they come over. Well, there is the changes. The changes are not that good. Yeah, but if they got the changes, they'd be very good. But if haven't got them yet. What about Piggy?
All I'm going to ask, Jenny, Liz is one of your best friends, but you were also Quarry Crest Echo's #1 fan.
I know.
If you had to pick one of them to win, who would it be?
You can't do that to her.
That's completely unfair.
Nero Z. And she literally goes to all these events dressed up as, the big American get up on her. Like, she's been waiting for this day all her life. So let her have an American win if she will get it.
Yeah, you're right.
You keep saying, she won't get the changes. She won't get the changes.
It was only a point.
You weren't. You were trying to say correct. I think between Phillips Z and De Niro Z, they're going there with great chances. But that's all to come. We can't do that now. We got to keep moving.
Not yet.
And there's something else this weekend to be dealt with, and that is how fast and how good is Ivor Gooden going to be.
Right, team. On that note, that is all we've got time for on this episode of the Eventing Podcast. Get in touch with us. Follow Echo Ratings, follow Eventing Podcast. We'd love to hear from you, and we'll be back with another episode very soon. We'll see you then.